Today we will study reproduction in animals, that is chapter number 9 in biology. As we have already studied previously the reproduction in plants in class 7. So in class 8 we will study about reproduction in animals. Now what is the meaning of reproduction? Reproduction means to produce something new. Means the individuals, the organisms that have the capability to reproduce something new of their own kind, that is called as reproduction. And what is the aim of reproduction? The main aim of reproduction is to ensure the continuity of race on this earth, to ensure the continuity of the species generation after generation. For example, like your great-grandfather, then comes your grandparents, then comes your parents, then comes you, and like that the generations will continue, so that it ensures the continuity of a particular type of species on this planet Earth. So that is the main aim of reproduction. Now, what are the different modes? How the reproduction takes place? The reproduction takes place through sexual mode of reproduction, asexual mode of reproduction. Now, in the sexual mode of reproduction, the reproductive cells are involved, the gametes are involved, the sperm and ovum, which fuses to form a called as zygote. And this zygote goes through various stages of development to become a young, small individual. That is the baby. So, that is how the sexual reproduction takes place. It involves the fusion of the male and female gamete. That is, the gamete is the sex cell of male and female. Now, what is asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction is, in that type of reproduction, no fusion of gamete is taking place and a single parent or a single individual is capable of reproducing one of its own kind. And this type of reproduction takes place in amoeba, paramecium, in hydra, etc. And sexual reproduction takes place in almost all the type of animals, including humans, birds, crocodile, frog, amphibians, fishes, and all the type of animals. In some primitive animals, asexual reproduction takes place. In all the type of animals, sexual reproduction takes place. Now, sexual reproduction in animals. Sexual reproduction in animals, there are mainly two types of animals, oviparous and viviparous. Now, what is the meaning of oviparous? Means the egg-laying animals are called as oviparous animals. Like birds, like reptiles, like amphibians, fishes, they all lay eggs, and from the eggs the babies hatch out. So these type of animals are called as oviparous animals. Now viviparous animals, the animals that give birth to the babies are called as viviparous animals. Viviparous animals include we human beings, animals like bear, tiger, lion, leopard, cow, etc. mammals. So they are viviparous animals, the animals which give birth to their babies. So the two type of animals based on the method of giving the birth and laying the eggs are oviparous and viviparous animals. Now come to the gametes. What is the meaning of gametes? The sex cells or the reproductive cells are called as gametes. Now these gametes are of two types, sperm and ovum. The sperm is the male gamete which is present in males, and the ovum is a female gamete which is present in females. Now sperm is produced in a reproductive organ that is called as testis. This is a singular word, testis. The plural of testis we write this as T-E-S. This is the plural word. Testis, T-E-S-T-I-S is a singular and T-E-S-T-E-S is a plural word. Now ovum. Ovum or egg. It is also called as egg. And the plural of ovum is ova. So the ovum is the female reproductive cell which is produced in the female reproductive organ that is called as ovary. A pair of ovaries are placed in the female reproductive organs, female reproductive system, and the testes are present in the male reproductive system. So the sperm is produced by males and the ovum is produced by females. In the sexual reproduction, the sperm fuses with ovum to produce a zygote. Now, what about unisexual and bisexual animals? The unisexual animals include the sperm and ovum about the gametes, only one type of gamete is present in one individual. So if that is happening, then it is called as unisexual animals. For example, in humans, in animals also like cat, dog and other animals, only one type of gamete is present, either sperm or ovum. That is, the male reproductive system is present inside the body or the female reproductive system is present inside the body. So such type of animals which carry only one type of gametes are called as unisexual animals. And bisexual animals include both the type of gametes are present in one individual. Those individuals are called as bisexual or hermaphrodite. The term hermaphrodite is also used for bisexual individuals, bisexual type of animals. And the example of bisexual animals include leeches, earthworms. They are all bisexual or hermaphrodite. So all these are very technical terms. You please remember all these terms properly, like gametes, unisexual, bisexual.
We will learn about development of embryo. We have learned that the result of fertilization is zygote. Zygote is a unicellular organism which is formed by the fusion of male and female gamete, that is the sperm and ovum. Dear students, it is very interesting to know that how a single-celled zygote develops into a baby. In human beings, once the zygote is formed, it undergoes repetitive cell division, resulting in increasing number of cells. Increasing number of cells forms a ball of cells. In this structure, the cell starts forming groups. These groups undergoes specific modifications and starts developing into various body tissues and organs. Such a developing structure is called as embryo. Since embryo is made up of large number of cells, therefore it is multicellular. Embryo gets implanted, that is fixed to the wall of uterus, where it undergoes further development. With time, embryo develops various body parts such as hands, legs, head, eyes, ears, etc. During development, the stage reaches where we can identify the all body parts of an embryo. This stage is called fetus. Once the development of fetus completes, the mother gives birth to the baby. Do hens also give birth to baby like humans? No. In hen, soon after fertilization, zygote will undergo repetitive cell division and it travels down the oviducts. During this journey, the development of many protective layers takes place around an egg. The hard shell in hen's egg is one shell of a protective layer. Hen lays the egg. For about 3 weeks, hen provides sufficient warmth to the egg by sitting on it. During this period, embryo in egg develops into chick. When chick completely develops, it breaks the eggshell and come out of the egg. So I hope you all have understood the development of embryo in human and in hen also. Thank you. Now children, let us study about the test tube babies or in vitro fertilization. Now in vitro fertilization refers to the fusion of eggs with sperms inside the test tubes. That means outside the female's body. Because in some women, the oviducts are sometimes blocked. So those women are unable to bear the children. So the fertilization cannot take place. The sperms cannot meet the ovum. So in such cases, the doctors collect freshly released egg and sperms and keep them together for a few hours for IVF, that is in vitro fertilization. Now, in this, after the fertilization occurs, the zygote forms. The zygote is allowed to develop in the test tube for few more developmental stages, and after that it is placed in mother's womb, that is the uterus, where the complete development of the baby takes place, and the baby is born like the other babies. So the babies born through this technique are called as test tube babies. Now, what is IVF? It is the process by which egg cells are fertilized by sperms outside the womb, that is in vitro, which means in the glass. So hope you all have understood what is IVF and test tube babies. Animals. We'll study about reproduction in very small animals like amoeba and hydra. Amoeba and hydra are tiny animals. They produce through asexual reproduction. Now, do you know what is asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction is the production of a new organism from a single parent without the involvement of sex cells or gametes. The new organism produced by asexual reproduction is exactly identical to the parent. The two most common method of asexual reproduction is in animals include binary fission and budding. We will now study these two methods of asexual reproduction in animals. So let's begin with binary fission. Binary fission is an asexual method of reproduction in organisms. The word binary means two and the word fission means splitting. So the term binary fission means splitting into two. In binary fission, the parent organism splits or divides to form two new organisms. Now, when this happens, the parent organism ceases to exist and two new organisms come into existence. Amoeba, it reproduces by binary fission, by dividing its body into two parts. Now, let's understand how it happens. When the amoeba cell has reached its maximum size of growth, means the amoeba gets fully mature, then first the nucleus of amoeba lengthens, means the nucleus increases in size and divides into two parts. After that, the cytoplasm of amoeba also divides into two parts, one part around each nucleus. In this way, one parent amoeba divides to form two smaller amoebae. They are called as daughter amoebae. Hence, one amoeba produces two daughter amoebae. Students, do you know amoeba takes about an hour to divide into two daughter amoebae? The two daughter amoebae produce hair, grow to their full size by eating food, and then they will again divide to produce four amoebae, and so on. The daughter amoebae produced by the process of binary fission are identical to the parent amoeba. Hope you understood that amoeba reproduces by dividing itself into two parts through binary fission. Now, this type of asexual reproduction is called as binary fission. Another tiny unicellular organism called as paramecium. It also reproduces by asexual method of binary fission. Now let us study about budding. Budding is an asexual method of reproduction. In budding, a small part of the body of the parent organism grows out as a bud, which then detaches and becomes a new organism. Here, bud means small outgrowth. The asexual reproduction by budding is observed in animals like hydra, sea anemones, sponges, and corals. Now we know that hydra is a simple multicellular animal. Now let's know how hydra reproduces by method of budding. See, this is a parent hydra. Now, first a small outgrowth that is called as bud. It is formed on the side of the body by repeated division of its cells. This bud then grows gradually to form a small new hydra by developing a mouth and tentacles. And finally, the new tiny hydra detaches itself from the body of the parent hydra and lives a separate individual or organism. In this way, the parent hydra has produced or created a new hydra. Thus, hydra reproduces asexually by growing a bud from its body. This is called as budding. Hope you all have understood